Hello everyone, in this video we're going to talk about my rat problem and how I solved it when traditional rat traps didn't work. I bought these rat traps from Amazon. They're great. They work really well for other animals like birds and mice, but not for rats because rats are incredibly smart and very skeptical. I set up this security camera pointing at the rat traps to see what was going on, and I saw them multiple times ignoring the bait like peanut butter and chocolate inside the rat traps because they knew that something was up. They'd walk up to the trap, sniff around, and then walk away, leaving the food. And one day we caught a mouse, and a rat came up to the cage and realized there was a mouse in it, and it leant through the cage, grabbed the mouse, and then tried to eat it, and did eat it. And it pulled the mouse through the tiny holes in the mesh of the cage. And that's when I realized, yeah, I've got to do something about this, because I like mice, but I don't like rats. And I caught this on camera, but I'm not going to show it because I don't want this video to get removed, and also it's pretty disturbing. So I did a bit of research and decided I was going to make a walk the plank style rat trap. First things first, I needed to get a barrel, and it needs to be big enough that the rat won't be able to jump out of it. I picked this up on Facebook Marketplace for £5. Cut the top of the barrel off. I started off using a multi-tool, but soon realised this wasn't strong enough because this plastic is very thick and very strong. So I soon switched to a reciprocating saw, which made light work of it. I recommend doing this inside because you're going to get plastic dust everywhere. And then you need to deburr the edges. I used a deburring tool. I used a random chunk of wood and cut it into this wedge shape. This wedge shape is so you can screw a piece of wood to it and make a ladder for the rat to climb up. I screw this wedge of wood slightly higher than the rim of the barrel. This allows for the walkway to fold down without hitting anything. Initially I was going to make the plank out of this scrap piece of wood, but I decided it might be too grippy and the rat might be able to hold on to it. Here I am screwing on a random hinge that I had laying about. Instead I ended up using this piece of plastic, which is PVC pipe covering. I use this because it was significantly lighter and a lot smoother, so less grip for the rat to hold on to. Whatever you use, make sure it's smooth and is wide enough so that the rat can't grip onto it. Remember, you've got one shot at this, because if the rat goes on it and it falls and it can hold onto it, it will learn that it's dangerous and it won't go on it again. Next, I added 2 angle brackets, flattened one of them out, and then put a neodymium magnet between them. This is what holds the walkway up until the rat gets to the end of it, at which point it overcomes the weight of the magnet. And the walkway will fall, which will drop the rat into the barrel. I googled the weight of a rat and it said it's about 200 grams and up. So I weighed out a bottle of water for about 200 grams, maybe a bit more, so that I could adjust the strength of the magnet and when it would trigger. You don't want the walkway to trigger prematurely because the rat could still have grip on the edge of it and then it won't fall in and then it will never go on it again. Having it not trigger at all is better than having it trigger too early, so always overshoot the size of the magnet if you're unsure. I also recommend supergluing the magnet to one side. To adjust the strength of the magnet, you can adjust the angle bracket's height or wedge something between the magnet and the angle brackets. I used a couple leaves. These act as shims which reduce the strength of the magnet. I added this screw because it would hold the walkway up, but in reality I didn't think I needed it. The idea of this screw is to hold the walkway from triggering, so that the rat has time to get familiar with it and relaxes a bit, and maybe improving your success rate. But really, if the rat is on the walkway, you want it to trigger, so it's a bit pointless. If anything, having the rat go on the walkway without it triggering might give it time to learn how to hold on to the walkway, which means when it does trigger, it might hold on. The trap is built, and finally we have our first customer. That extra screw is in, which is going to stop the walkway from folding in, but like I say, I don't think I would do this again in the future. But as you can see, the rat is on the walkway and there's no way it's going to trigger. But this is still good news because I was worried the rat wouldn't even go on here because it might look a bit precarious to it, but it doesn't seem too phased. And again, the next day, the rat comes up to check out what's on offer. On the menu today is peanut butter. And as you can see, the rat has eaten all the peanut butter on the closest edge of the barrel, but has not gone for the end, which shows how skeptical these guys are. Very smart. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. The bait is set, the magnet has been adjusted, the safety screw is out, and now we wait. Let's see that again in slow motion. And there he is, the little bugger, looking sorry for himself. Another bonus of this trap is that it will only work on rats because other animals are too light, like mice and birds in this case. They won't trigger it, which is exactly what I want. To summarise, get a deep barrel with smooth insides. This makes sure that there are no places a rat can start to chew through, and make sure that it's tall enough that the rat can't jump out of it. Make the walkway light yet strong, and smooth and wide so that the rat can't straddle it to hold on to, and that it falls off easily because it won't have grip. Make your magnet strength adjustable in some way. Shims are the easiest way. I would use leaves in my case. And always start with it being set too strong rather than too weak, and then gradually work your way down in the strength. That way you won't get premature walkway triggers, which could mean that the rat has its back legs holding onto something which stops it falling in, and then it will learn, and then it will never come back to it. Make sure the rat can only get to the bait by being on the walkway, and not being able to reach over from the sides of the barrel, for example. And also avoid touching any part of the trap with your bare hands. Rats can smell human scent on things that you've touched, and they will get extra cautious. That's it, thanks for watching. Drop us a like and a subscribe if this helps you, and drop any questions or comments in the comment section below. That's it now, see ya.